Good day to all of you. Now I'm going to discuss to you the compound and simple interest. Now let's proceed to my slide. Okay. Now simple and compound interest. This is for the general mathematics. Now here is our objectives. At the end of the lesson, you're going to illustrate simple and compound interest, distinguish simple and compound interest, compute interest, maturity value, value, and present value in simple interest and compound interest environment. And also, you're going to solve problem involving simple and compound interest. Now, first, let us proceed in simple interest. Okay, in many aspects of modern life, mathematics plays an important role. In the field of business, mathematics is essential in analyzing markets, predicting stock markets prices, business decision making, forecasting production, final analysis, and in business operation in general. This module will introduce the students to the basic concept of business mathematics such as the simple and compound interest. Simple and compound interest, it is the basic in business mathematics. Ito yung isa sa pinakang roots na pinagkukunan ng mga businessmen na ina-applyan ng mathematics. Now, when you save money in the bank, you will gain an interest paid by the bank. On the other hand, when you borrow money, you are charged an interest on the amount you borrowed. How does gain and charge interest computed? So, 'di ba? Kapag nag-invest ka sa bangko, babayaran ko ng bangko sa pagpapahiram ng pera sa kanila. At kapag naman ikaw yung nangutang sa bangko, syempre merong porsyento yung bangko. Kung halimbawa, nangutang ka ng 500 pesos, hindi 500 pesos yung eksaktong ibabayad mo sa kanila kasi meron na silang porsyento. A debtor paid the bank an amount which is more than the amount they borrowed. An investor may withdraw from the bank more than the amount deposited. This additional sum is called interest. So, para mas maunawaan, here are the definition of terms. So, lender or creditor. They are the person or institution who invests the money or makes the funds available. So, kalimitan sila yung mga, sa Tagalog, sila yung nagpapautang, katulad ng bangko, yung mga nagpapa 5-6, mga Bombay, ganyan. Sila yung mga lender or creditor. How about the borrower or the debtor? So, they are the person or institution who owes the money or avails the funds from the lender. Sila yung mangungutang in Tagalog. Then, origin or loan date. This is the date on which money is received by the borrower. So, di ba kapag tayo hihiram naman ng pera, halimbawa sa bangko, meron silang pinapipirmahan kung nakalagay doon yung origin or loan date kung kailan ka nangutang or kailan mo na-receive yung pera. So, kapag naman tayo nangungutang sa kakilala lang natin, wala naman sigurong papel pa na papakita na, ito yung date kung kailan mo na-receive yung pera. So, repayment date or maturity date. It is the date on which the money borrowed or loaned is to be completely repaid. Yan. Ito naman yung date kung kailan mo dapat bayadan. Ito yung due date. Next is time or term. Amount of time in years the money is borrowed or invested. Length of time between the maturity and origin date. So, ito yung kung gaano katagal mo inutang yung pera. Principal or present value. The amount of money borrowed or invested on the original date. Ito yung eksakto o yung original na pera na hiniram mo. Simple rate of interest or simply rate. Annual rate usually in percent charged by the lender or rate of increase of the investment. So, ito yung annual na patubo ng iyong utang. Interest, amount paid or earned for the use of money. Yan, connected siya dun sa last natin. So, ito yung kung ilan portion to ba yung tutubuin mo. Then, maturity value or future value, amount after 30 years that the lender receives from the borrower on the maturity date equal to the sum of principal and the interest earned. Ito yung subtotal ng pera na kinita mula sa tubo at yung original na perang pinahiram ng lender. Now, let's talk about simple interest more. So, for every financial transaction, whether you borrowed or invested a certain amount P, a corresponding percentage of principal is called interest, is being paid. Simple interest, or I sub S, is the interest charge on the principal alone for the entire duration or period T of the loan or investment at a particular rate or R. After the term of the loan or investment, the maturity value or future value F is computed by getting the sum of the principal and the interest due. So, ito yung kalimitang ginagamit kapag magpapautang or manghihiram. Manghihiram ka ng pera sa bangko o kaya sa tao, simple interest yung ginagamit. Kapag naman magpapautang ka, gano'n din yung ginagamit, simple interest. So, ito yung mga formula para mahanap natin yung kukomputin natin yung simple interest sa isang pera na pinahiram. So, IS or interest is equals to P, or simple interest is equals to PRT. F is equals to P plus I sub S, or pwede mo siyang makuha ng F equals P plus PRT, or F is equals to P times 1 plus RT. P is equals to I sub S over, pag naman P yung hinahanap dito sa ating general formula ng simple interest. Pag P ang hinahanap, P is equals to I sub S over RT, or P is equals to F minus I sub S. Next, pag naman T or yung time yung hinahanap dito sa ating general formula ng simple interest, T is equals to I sub S over or divided by PR. Next is for R. Kapag naman rate yung hinahanap dito sa ating general formula, we're going to have the formula R is equals to I sub S divided by P times T. Yan. Ano ba yung I sub S, P, R, T, F? Yan, ito yung meaning nila. Where I sub S is the simple interest itself. P is the principal. Where R is the rate of interest, or simply rate. T is time. Yung T dapat ay naka-year. F is for future value or maturity value. So, di ba sa time, dapat per year or in year. Kapag hindi siya naka-year, if the given time is in months, it can be converted to years by using formula T is equals to number of months over 12. Now, we're going to complete the table below by solving the unknown quantities in each row. So, ito yung example natin para mas maunawa natin kung paano ba mag-compute ng simple interest. Yan. For number 1, we have principal, rate, time. We're going to fill the simple interest and the future value. And for number 2, ay para sa principal at sa future value. For number 3, we're going to find the rate and the future value. And for number 4, we're going to find the time and the future value. And for number 5, lastly, we're going to find the simple interest and the future value. So, for number 1, Yan, ang hanapin natin ay simple interest at future value. So, the given are, P is equals to 500,000 pesos. R is equals to 12.5% or 0.125. T is for 10 years. Dapat mas magandang i-convert natin kapag naka-percent na yung rate, yung R. I-convert natin siya by decimal point kasi mas magandang i-compute siya sa calculator kapag naka-decimal point. Pero kapag naman kaya ng inyong calculator na may percent, edi mas okay. Okay, we're going to find the simple interest. I sub S is equals to P R T. Okay, substitution lang po ng lahat ng given. So, P is 500,000. R is 0.125. T is 10. So, we're going to multiply lang yung tatlo. 500,000 times 0.125 times 10. So, the result is 625,000. So, we got the final answer, 625,000. And now, let's try to find the future value. F is equals to P plus I sub S. Okay, F is equals to 500,000 plus 625,000. Kasi yung ginamit, since nakuha naman natin yung simple interest, di ba madami yung formula para mahanap yung future value. So, since nakuha na natin yung simple interest, pwede naman natin siyang just simply add it to the principal amount. 500,000 plus 625,000 is equals to 1,125,000. So, ilalagay na natin siya sa ating box. Yan. And meron ng sagot sa number 1. Now, let's proceed for number 2. P is equals to I sub S over or divided by R times T. So, nahuli yung given. Kunin natin yung given. Yan, ayan, nahuli yung given. So, the given are the rate, 2.5 or 0.025. P is for 4 years and the simple interest is 1,500. So, ang hinahanap ay the principal and the future value sa number 2. Sa principal, ang formula ay I sub S over RT. So, ang importante lang naman dito ay ang formula at kung paano ninyo isa-substitute ang lahat ng mga given values. No, the simple interest is 1,500. Substitute it. And R, 0.025. And the time is 4 years. So, 1,500, i-multiply muna natin yung 0.025 sa 4. Then, saka natin i-divide, we will have 15,000. So, the principal is 15,000. Ito daw pala yung original price na pinahiram nila. So, let's go or let's proceed to the future value. F is equals to P plus I sub S. Kapag given ang principal at ang simple interest, pwede na lang natin silang ipag-add kasi yun yung makukuha natin para sa future value. So, add natin yung 15,000 sa 1,500. We will have 16,500. Now, let's put it on our box. 15,000 and 16,500. Now, for number 3, we will find the rate and the future value. Yan, nahuli ulit yung given. The given are the principal, 36,000, and the time, 1 and 6 over 12 years or 1.5 years kasi 6 divided by 12 is 0.5. Add the 1.5 years. I sub S is equals to 4,860. Yan, rate muna yung hanapin natin. So, this is the formula for finding the rate. Substitute the simple interest, 4,860 here. Then, substitute the principal, 36,000. And substitute the time, 1.5. So, 36,000 times 125, ilalagay po yung result. Then, 4,860 divided by the result of this product. Now, we will have 0.09 or convert natin siya sa percent form. It is 9%. Next, let us find the future value. Just simply add the principal amount and the simple interest amount. 36,000 plus 4,860 is equals to 40,860. Yeah, madali lang naman pag simple interest. So, ilalagay natin ang ating sagot. Now, let's go for number 4. Nahuli na naman ang ating given. Oops! Sobra. Given are the principal, rate, and the simple interest. For principal, we have 250,000 rather. 250,000 pesos. And for the rate, 0.5 or 0.005. And for the simple interest, we have 1,400. Now, let's find the time kung kailan ba pinahiram ang pera. The formula is this. Now, let's substitute the simple interest. 1,400 divided by principal, 250,000 times the rate, 0.005. You're going to get the product of this, 1,400 divided by the product of this 2. So, you will have 1.12 years. Ito na yung time. So, meron na tayong time. Now, let's go for the future value. Madali lang kapag hinahanap ay future value. You're just going to add the principal and the simple interest. 250,000 plus 1,400 is equals to 251,400. Lagay na natin siya sa box. Ito yung nauna for number 1, for number 2, for number 3, and for number 4. And lastly, we're going to find the simple interest and the future value for number 5. The given are the principal amount, 10,000 pesos. And for the rate, 4% or 0.04. And for the time, 5/12 years. Year pala. Okay. Simple interest formula ay sub S is equals to PRT. Okay, substitute lang natin lahat ng given value. 10,000 pesos times 0.04 times 5/12 is equals to 166.67. Now, let's go to principal, our future value. 10,000 pesos plus 166.67 is equals to 10,166.67. I-add lang natin tong dalawa. Okay. Yan, kompleto na ang ating table. Yan, na doble siya. Okay. Yan. Ganyan lang kasimple mag-compute ng simple interest as long as alam nyo po yung formula. Okay, let's proceed. For moving on, let's proceed for the compound interest. Okay, let's have the definition of terms. Compound amount is also called maturity value. It is an accumulated amount obtained by adding the principal and the compound interest. Yan. Parang yung utang mo na may interest na simple interest na lalagyan pa ng isa pang interest. So, conversion period. Ano nga ba ang conversion period? It is the number of times in a year the interest will be compounded. So, the following are the common conversion periods in a year. Annually, M is equals to 1. Semi-annually, M is equals to 2. Quarterly, M is equals to 4. Monthly, M is equals to 12. So, dito sa conversion period, kung ilang beses ba bibigyan ng interest. Number of conversion periods. The total number of times interest is calculated for the entire term of the invested loan. Ito yung total number of conversion period. Okay, let's have the annual interest rate or nominal rate. The stated rate of interest per year. How about the periodic rate? The interest rate per conversion period. Kung itong annual interest rate or nominal rate, ito ay per year, ito naman ay kung kailan kinonvert yung percent, yung tubo, yung patubo. Halimbawa ay annually, monthly. Ito yun. Next is for present value, F. This is the principal P that will accumulate to F if there is an interest that periodic rate I for N conversion period. Ito yung talagang amount ng pera. Compound interest. Okay, this is the meaning of compound interest. Compound interest is usually used by banks in calculating interest for long-term investments and loans such as savings account and time deposits. In this type of interest, the interest due at a stipulated interval is added to the principal and earns interest thereafter. It implies that the principal increases over a period of time, resulting to an increase in interest earned at every compounding period. Thus, compound interest is an interest resulting from the periodic addition of simple interest to the principal amount, or simply the difference between compound amount and the original principal. Yun nga. 'Di ba? Kanina pinag-aralan natin yung simple interest. Dito sa compound interest, simple interest plus yung original na amount pa. So parang doble yung tubo. Formulas. So these are the formulas for finding the compound interest. For F, or for future value, we have F is equals to P times 1 plus I raised to N, or F is equals to P times 1 plus R divided by M raised to MT. For principal, we have P is equals to F times 1 plus I raised to negative N, or P is equals to F times 1 plus R divided by M raised to negative MT. For rate, R is equals to M times F over P raised to 1 over N minus 1. For simple compound interest, we have I sub C is equals to F minus P, or I sub C is equals to P times 1 plus I raised to N minus 1. T, for time, we have T is equals to logarithmic of F times F over P divided by M logarithmic of 1 plus I, where I, or compound interest, I sub C is compound interest, P is the present value of PF, R is the annual interest rate, T is time per year, F is compound amount of maturity value, M is conversion period, whether it is annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly. So, it is based on the given. So, titingin lagi kayo dun sa given kung siya ba ay annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly. Kalimitan siyang nakikita sa pagsosolve ng problem ng compound interest. Kapag i-apply na siya sa real life, makikita nyo naman kung kailan hiniram yung pera, kung annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly. So, kapag annually hiniram yung pera, ang value ng M nyo ay 1. Pag semi-annually, ang value ng M ay 2. Pag quarterly, ang value ng M ay 4. Pag monthly, ang value ng M ay 12. So, N is the total number of conversion period. So, ito yung formula ng N. N is equals to MT. Ito lang, i-multiply nyo lang tong M, yung conversion period, tsaka yung time. At ang I ay periodic rate. Ito naman yung formula ng I. I is equals to R divided by M. Itong annual interest rate, i-divide nyo lang siya sa conversion period. Then, makukuha nyo na yung periodic rate. Okay, let's have an example. Find the compound amount and interest earned on 15,000 for 1 year at 7% compounded semi-annually. So, anong value ng M kapag semi-annually? So, it means 2. And B, 7% compounded in quarterly. So, kapag quarterly, ang value ng M ay 4. Ay, 12. Diba, 12? Ay, 4 nga. Tama. 4. Pag semi-annually, 12. Kapag quarterly ay 4. So, these are the solution. The given are 15,000. The rate is 7% or 0.7. The time is 1 year. And the M is 2. It is for semi-annually. So, ito yung formula for finding the I. Kasi ang hinahanap ay find the compound amount and interest. So, hanapin natin yung interest. I is equals to, hanapin muna natin yung I. Tsaka, hanapin muna natin yung I, tsaka N. Hanapin muna natin yung total number of conversion, tsaka yung periodic time. So, R divided by M, 0.07 divided by 2 is equals to 0.035. And for periodic time, we're going to multiply the rate and the time. 0.07 times, ito pala, M. 2 times 1 is equals to 2. Okay. Let's find the compound amount. F is equals to P times 1 plus I raised to N. Okay, P is 15,000 times 1 plus I is 0.035 raised to N, which is 2. And we're going to have 16,068.38. I-add nyo muna to. Then, i-erase nyo siya, saka nyo i-multiply dito. Okay. Let's find the compound interest. Ma-minus lang natin yung F. Yan. Kinuha natin tong F, yung future value niya, para makuha natin yung compound interest. You're going to subtract the future amount or future value sa ating principal amount. 16,068.38 minus 15,000 is equals to 1,068.38. So, this is the compound amount. Yan, hanapin naman natin yung interest earned. So, therefore, the compound amount and the interest rate are 16,068.38 and 1,068.38. So, ito na pala yun. Alternative solution for solving the compound interest. Ito daw yung iba pang way of finding the compound interest. Yan. Same naman yung makukuhang answer. So, ito yung formula. So, the given. Ito yung for number 2, for quarterly. Okay, hanapin natin yung F. F times 1 plus I raised to N. Substitution lang din. Paano nakuha yung 16,077.89? 1 plus 0.0175. Ito yon. Raised to 4 times 15,000. So, para makuha nyo dito yung I at saka N, gagawin nyo din yung ginawa nyo sa isa for semi-annually. Pero, syempre, may iba yung given kasi dito, ang M natin ay 4. So, hanapin naman natin yung compound amount niya. F minus P. So, 16,077.89 pesos minus 15,000 is equals to 1,077.89. So, therefore, the compound amount and the interest are 16,077.89 and 1,077.89 respectively. So, meron din siyang alternative solution. Ginamit niya din yung isang formula. Yan, sinubstitute lang. And, parehas lang din sila ng lumabas. So, kapag ito ang gusto nyong gawin, hanapin nyo muna ito. Para ima-minus nyo na lang. Pero kapag naman ito ang gusto nyo at isa-substitute nyo yung I at saka N, pwede din naman itong formulang ito. Parehas din naman sila ng kakalabasang sagot basta tama yung way ng pag-solve. So, thank you. You can check this video on our Facebook group.